Hey guys, D1sco here, and I know I'm a little bit late to this. I've been busy and just haven't had the time till now, but today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight update 8.6.0 Tokyo Ghoul patch note thing. So let's see, so new killer, the Ghoul. Fun fact, Orange actually has him. I think Orange got him the same day he released, I think. Maybe the day after. It was very close to its release if it wasn't on release. I still don't have them. I have kind of a plan with purchases I'm working on right now, and unfortunately, um, some things on that plan are way more expensive than I thought they were going to be. So I don't. So I'm not expecting to get them anytime soon, just because of that. But let's see what we got here. Killer power, one-eyed tear, special ability, Kaigane leap. Use the power button to charge and launch the Kaigane tentacles to attach to any vertical surface within range and quickly pull the ghoul forward. After completing the leap, the ghoul has a window to perform a second consecutive Kaigane leap or put Kaigane leap into cooldown by using the active ability button. Kaigane leap enters cooldown once the ghoul has consumed their leaps if they leap over a vault or down pallet, or if the Kaigane grabs and leaps at a survivor. If the ghoul's second consecutive leap targets a survivor, they will perform a grab attack. Grab attack damage survivors if they are healthy, inflict deep wounds, and leave a Kaigane mark. Performing a grab attack also triggers some rage mode special ability in rage mode. While in range, the ghoul can perform up to 3 consecutive Kaigane leaps and can leap over vaults more quickly if they launch their Kaigane survivor. And rage mode remains active while there are survivors afflicted with Kaigane mark. Mark survivors will lose their mark if they are fully amended or if they are downed. The ghoul cannot grab attack mark survivors. If it seems like I'm rigged for this kind of fast, it's just because this is, like, I already know all this stuff. This stuff didn't change from the PTB, the wording of, like, his power and stuff. So I'm trying to get through it so that way I can get to the new stuff, which will be more interesting for me to see than, old stuff. Once no marks for us remain, a countdown begins from the countdown depletes and rage mode ends. A perfectly timed grab attack. Tapping the attack button when the attack icon is displayed will add extra time to the countdown. The countdown is paused while carrying survivors. New killer perks. Hex, nothing but misery. After you damage survivors 888 times. So his basic attacks, they don't tell them because they hex to them, cursing off survivors. One new damage to survivors. Basic attack, they gain 555% hitter for 10, 12. 10, 12.5, 15 seconds. This effect lasts until the hex time is cleansed. I mean, nothing but misery, it's fine. I mean, it's fine, you just curse everybody was hindered. Not bad for a number of seconds. It's really not that bad. It's pretty, it can be pretty useful for sure. Forever twice when survivor takes damage in 1 token, up to 6, 7, 8 for each token you pick up, drop, and hook survivors 4% faster. That perk is really nice. I know Orange likes that one a lot. None are free. When you hook a survivor for the first time, gain 1 token up to 4. When all generators are completed for each token, all windows and upgrade pallets are blocked for everyone for 12, 14, 16 seconds. Archives in the vest, the Blood Moon event returns and begins April 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern. I didn't even know that was happening till the day after it launched, because I found out about it on the 8th when I logged into the game for the weekly reward. No real reason, I just haven't really been playing DBD much lately. I guess Orange has played this already. He told me I think Orange told me he already got beat all the event tome challenges or something already. I'm hoping he can help me out with it because I still don't know if I'll find the time. I guess if Orange wants to play with me, that would give me an excuse to. But otherwise, I don't know when I'll get around to it, if I ever will. I've just been so busy with other stuff. This event also includes an event home that opens at the same time. Another Chaos Shuffle event begins April 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm really not a big fan of Chaos Shuffle. Let me explain why. Like, I used to like it. Now I'm kind of, my excitement for it and my like for it has really diminished. The first time we saw Chaos Shuffle was really cool. The second time, it was literally the exact same. Nothing had changed. Nothing was different, so I didn't fully care for it. The third time around, which would have been, I believe that would have been the D&D one. I didn't even play that one at all. Orange had played and got me all the stuff for me, which I appreciate from him, because I believe when that event was happening, I want to say it was like sometime in like January or something like that, and I was just really busy. Like, I had some family stuff going on, like some family get-togethers and whatnot, and some other stuff. So I just didn't have time. I mean, I definitely could have found time, but Orange just taking that off my hand was huge. It kind of freed up my schedule a little bit more. That was just real. I just really appreciate that for him. But yeah, I don't like how it's literally been the exact same every time. It's like, if you're gonna have a new game mode, at least have it be interesting. So I think, in my personal opinion, I'm kind of at the point where I think they should, like, either just stop doing chaos shuffles like altogether until they figure out a way to actually make it like unique and fun, or just get rid of it completely. Like, I that, like, cause, and I get that too, like, cause 2v8, yeah, like 2v8, they've been changing that one quite a bit, especially with the Resident Evil 1, sort of Fiends 1. And then, of course, the two times they've done Lights Out, they changed it quite a bit the second time by, like, kind of, by adding the candelabras and, like, a few other things. But when it comes to, Chaos Shuffle, kind of to the point where I'm just like, well, they don't do anything with it. It's just the same thing every time. So my excitement for that event has basically diminished a ton. So if you like the event, like, kudos to you, and I know Orange does, and like, I like it too. I just don't like how it's the same thing every year. I would like more variety. I would like for them to add something to make it unique, but they still don't. So I immediately don't care about that event. Features, scratch marks, improvements. I still don't fully understand that. This is what I'm excited for, because this should be the new stuff, like explaining how the quality of life stuff that they were working on will sort of transfer to live game. Let's see here. Scratch marks improvements. Made improvements to the scratch marks spawn logic. They should spawn on the ground more consistently. I mean, I feel like they were fine before. Like, I really don't... I don't remember why they said they need to update that. I think there was, like, some issues with it, but also, like, players were getting confused and whatnot. But yeah, so that's good. I'm definitely excited to see more of, like, what that's like now. Um, Surrender option. Under specific scenarios, it will be possible to surrender during a trial and retain some progress, including blood points, match XP, challenge progress, emblem scores. Surrendering in the following conditions does not incur a disconnection penalty, but will not count as a complete trial and still causes item/add-on loss. Killer. When all remaining survivors are bots, when no generator has been completed within the last 10 minutes. The whole thing when it comes to killers and the bot thing kind of confuses me as someone who just doesn't generally like dealing with people, especially in online games. I had a really bad experience in a different game, and that's a big reason why I just don't play it. I've been told to kill myself. I've been told to have people avoid me. I've been told a lot of harsh things when it comes to online games. And so I know me and Orange would be more than happy if everyone disconnected, we would not be surrendering in that instance. We would actually be happy because we can still make progress and we can still play the game, but now we don't have to deal with other people, which is nice. But I get that, but some people, and I don't really understand why. There's some people who don't want the free progress for whatever reason. They refuse to just have the free progress. For whatever reason, they're very like, I want to play with real people, not bots. It's like, just take the free progress and move on. And I know I've mentioned this story in a few videos, but I saw a community post on Steam of a skull merchant main complaining about that during the initial PTB where they tested out the when they first tested out the disconnect survivor bots, and everyone like was basically, well, a lot of people were basically the response to this person wanting to actually play the game against real people instead of bots was basically just like, well, you're playing, skull merchant, play someone who's actually fun to go up against, and obviously they didn't want to do that since I guess they liked playing that skull merchant, and that's fine. And it was just kind of a dumb thing. But that's always what I think of when I think of that sort of text, because I know some people are like that, even if I don't understand it. Survivor, when all other remaining survivors are bots, or when all survivors are in the dying state. I feel like that one's fair. Like, they need to get better at dealing with slugging, and they got rid of knockout, the like major surviving perk. They like basically gutted it in terms of like what it used to be. But yeah. But yeah, it's just kind of frustrating. It's just kind of frustrating that I get why people were wanting the quality of life thing. I didn't fully mind either way because I've always kind of been the impression of, well, they're always giving us like quality of life stuff technically, like with all the bug fix patches, and anytime they release a chapter or like a mid chapter time, they're always testing stuff, they're always fixing stuff, they're always trying to fix stuff. And I appreciate that. But it's just like, I get why everyone was complaining though, because I had DVDs updated on my PS4. Nice. Still not on here though. My gosh. I just want to get into the game. Get about daily rewards. But yeah, so I never minded it. I remember a friend of mine, not Orange, different person, but I don't even see this person anymore. But they were basically they definitely want the quality of life thing. They didn't think that the small little changes that they gave us was chapters and like mid chapters when that was enough. But some people like to Survivor blood point balancing. This is something I really want to experience. If I do end up playing the game at some point, because I really want to see like exactly what like how much more money I could get playing Survivor. I actually me and Orange both have plans which involves leveling up all the characters in the game for different reasons. Orange, my plan, guys, I'm done with part of my plan. I'm done with like one step of my plan, partly because I don't have two of the characters yet, because I haven't gotten the last two chapters, the two most recent ones. I still want them, but as I mentioned, and I think as I mentioned earlier in the series, I have like a different plan going on right now, and until I finish that one, I'm not really gonna be um, in a position to really try to get some of these other, to like get these chapters and stuff, because that's gonna be taking um, away progress for me essentially. But yeah, I'm really excited though to but yeah, um, but yeah, so I'm hoping for so I really want to experience this at some point. But basically, they increased the safe hook rescue score event to 1,250 from 500. They increased the heal no medkit score to 750 with 500. They increased heal with a medkit score to 1,000 with 750. What else did they do? They increased heal self score event to 750 was 300. They increased dual time cleansing score event 1,500 was 1,000. From my understanding, um, all of this was an attempt by them to, I think, increase blood points that were being given. I think they may have updated the killer side at some point, though I don't remember if they ever did or not. But I swear that they had touched that at one point or something like that. And of course, but yeah, it's like I swear this was like an intent of them to increase blow weight. So that's a lot of people, mostly newer players, I've noticed on the few community posts of theirs on YouTube that I've seen, have been complaining about blood points, just because they just feel like there's not like you don't get blood points fast enough for like all the leveling up and stuff, and but then other people were saying that they that it's not. So I don't know, it seems like a weird issue where some people, it seems like one of those issues where no one really can agree on it, on the best system, the best way to deal with it, and which is fine. But yeah, so some people think it's an issue, some people don't think it's an issue, and I'm assuming this is a way to kind of appease those people, which is fair, and also just because like it's definitely nice to update it. There's so many characters in the game that the old numbers, and the old numbers were really low, and I get that like it's adding up over time as you play, but there's a cap to how much this score and event can show up as well. There is a cap to it, so definitely want. So I definitely want more. So I definitely want. I'm glad that they're updating the numbers. They're bringing the numbers up quite a bit. Hopefully that'll mean more progress for players and whatnot, and hopefully we can get kind of go in here better. Increase chase escape score event to 750 was 400. Increase repair score event to 2000 was 1250. Increase gate open score event to 2000 was 1250. Increase chest unlock score event to 750 was 250. Increase killer grass escape score event to 1250 was 500. Increase obsession escape score event to 2000 was 1500. Increase chase score event to 50 seconds was 40 seconds. Was 40 a second, or I guess. So it's 50 a second now instead of 40 a second, I suppose. Increase good wiggle skill check score event to 50 each was 25. Increase great wiggle skill check score event to 100 each was 50. The following score event has been moved to a different category. Dropping a pallet now awards survival points was boldness. Yeah, they changed up like emblems from what I remember. A little bit too for survivors. Stunning the killer now awards boldness points was survival. Cleansing a dual totem now awards survival points was boldness. And then cleansing a hex totem now awards survival points was boldness. Loadouts, equipped elements now show units left counter. Search bar now accepts direct inputs, removing old pop-up. Chat widget, chat window updated. I'm excited to see this because there are some, from my understanding, they do censor some weird. I swear I've seen like a few videos of people saying that like the censorship of the chat censors weird words sometimes and whatnot. So I'm excited to see this. Chat window updated. Messages sent at the tally screen can be read by people that arrive after. Okay, I don't really know exactly what that means, but sure. A line is added when people have left the tally, so players don't need to check others' pings to know if they are still at the tally. That's actually nice, because some people will just like have conversations, well, not after the like the match. Some people will just sit there and just keep talking. So but yeah, it's still kind of, I don't know. So definitely nice for those people. I don't really, the only time I don't really talk in chats much, just because I just don't really like, you know, dealing with people to some extent, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not really something I've ever really enjoyed, so that's a big reason why I just don't really use it often. But I mean, if you like it, and what do you, I know orange uses it at least a little bit. And it's like, you know, good for the people that like it. Definitely don't have anything wrong with it. I'm just not really. I just don't really care much for it. What else we got here? Improved UI to make the chat easier to understand. Read, that could be nice. There are moments where it's a little tricky to read for me and whatnot, so I definitely appreciate that one. Killer updates: the Legion decreased fatigue duration 2.5 seconds was 3 seconds. Increased movement speed during fatigue to 2.3 meters per second was 2.07 meters per second. Increased duration of Feral Frenzy to 11 seconds was 10 seconds. Decreased Feral Frenzy cooldown to 15 seconds was 20 seconds. Increased bonus movement speed gained per hit during Feral Frenzy 0.24 meters per second was 0.2 meters per second. Legion add-ons. The Merle Sketch add-on now grants an additional 0.08 meters per second movement speed per hit was 0.1 meters per second. The Mischief List add-on now increased Feral Frenzy duration by 1 second to 2 seconds. I just want to say that, like, I thought Legion's changes sound like interesting before, and you know, they don't seem terrible now, which is nice. So I'm definitely happy about that. But But yeah, I'm hoping that they xenomorph here is who I'm a little bit more worried, but I actually just prestige up xenomorph recently. This one, me and Orange were more concerned. It's like we felt like there was parts of his power that were fine, but there was like one major thing that we really didn't like, and that seems to be a thing that other players, that like other people were complaining about. So I'm curious to see how they'll address it. So here we go. Xenomorph, increase the tail attack charge time to 0.3 seconds with 0.2 seconds. Interesting. I didn't think that was. I kind of felt like that was fine. I understand why they want to increase the attack of that. Like, but yeah, I think there were players, from what I remember, that were like upset about that, but I didn't really pay them any mind because I understood why they wanted, like why they felt like that was a problem and like why they felt like they needed to update it. And I kind of agreed with behavior to some extent on that one. Increased the tail attack charge volume for survivors. I think that one's fine too. I know a lot of players are upset about that because they don't like how it's not really like a somewhat sneaky thing you can use now. I don't mind it because it's actually more like I don't mind it though because it's actually like something you can kind of use a little bit more now. Like you know what I mean? Like I never fully really minded it, but like I also don't know how much louder it is. I've never really noticed. I personally haven't noticed a different. Didn't really notice much of a difference in the PTB, but that's just me. But I think the reasoning for wanting to do that made sense. Decrease the successful tail attack cooldown to 2.7 seconds with 3 seconds. That's fine. Decrease the miss attack cooldown to 2.5 seconds with 3 seconds. Increase killer instinct range when exiting a tunnel 16 meters with 12 meters. Increase the amount of fire required to burn the xenomorph out of crawler mode to 125 with 100. So that one is kind of. I wonder if that's still going to cause the problem, because being Orange, from what I remember when we played the PTB, we were both like. We were both saying that we liked how it takes more fire to burn him out of his power, because it could happen pretty quickly before, and like we noticed that yeah, it was taking a little bit longer to like get burned out of crawler mode, and that's fine. But the big problem was they also had it set up where the where the fire, like, it didn't go away quickly, it just kind of stayed. You know what I mean? Like, if you got hit with the fire, like with flame turret, you weren't losing the fire fully. Like, it wasn't gonna dissipate fully for a while, and it took so long. And I don't see anything about it on here, so I'm assuming that they just went ahead and removed that. And if they did, that would be really nice. Because I know that was like a major thing people were complaining about, and even me and Orange were complaining about it. Xenomorph add-ons. The Drinking Bird add-on now increases the duration of Killer Instinct at Risking Tunnel by 3 seconds, was 2 seconds. The Ashes Innards add-ons now increases the respawn time of remote flame turrets by 15 seconds, was 10 seconds. The Light Wand add-on now increases the downtime of remote flame turrets at Risking Tunnel by 3 seconds, was 1 second. The Molten Skin add-on cause survivors to deploy your remote flame turret to become exhausted for 8 seconds, was 3 seconds, and no longer inflicts hindered. The Harpoon Gun add-on now causes survivors further than 60 meters with 24 meters to be revealed when hitting a survivor within 30 seconds, was 10 seconds of exiting a tunnel. The emergency helmet add-on now increases resistance to remote flame turrets by 50%, with 35%. Honestly, he sounds fine, especially if they removed that really huge dissipation penalty thing of like just how long that was taking to go away and whatnot. That's a huge W. But I mean, I think he sounds better as long as they got rid of that. I think he sounds a lot better. But I mean, I get it. Good guy, decrease Heidi Ho cooldown to 12 seconds was 14 seconds. Decrease the time it takes to reach max speed at the start of slice and dice and after scampering a window or pallet. I know that's all they. That's it, huh? Okay. I know Orange mentioned, and I guess I wasn't aware of this, or at least I forgot about it. I guess I forgot that the last time they touched Chucky, they like tried to make him better for like survivors to deal with. So they like, updated his this kit a lot. So they like made him slower. I think it took longer to reach max speed and like whatnot. Like they really like nerfed him hard, pretty hard from my understanding. And I know that for Liam or I know for some players they like stopped playing Chucky because of those changes. But I mean, I know Orange actually tested that out, and he said that he felt like it was better. I don't remember if he said it was if it felt better enough they'd actually play him again. I don't think it was better in the sense that he would play him again. I just think he felt like it was, from what I remember, I think he just felt like it was definitely better, but not quite there for him to like want to pick up the character again. The Oni increased the demon strike attack angle limit to 180 degrees, was 90 degrees. Nope, this applies to keyboard and mouse and controllers. Fair enough. Oni's power, the demon strike one is very tricky for me to use, which is a big reason why I don't play Oni, because I suck. Terror radius increased the hillbilly and the blast radius to 40 meters to 32 meters, which I understand why that they wanted to give like the speedy boys a larger terrace because they can like zoom around the map and stuff easier, and that made sense to me honestly. Like when they explained it, decreased the pig, Ghostface, and the skill merchant terrace to 24 meters, so it's 32 meters. That one was they wanted to like help out the stealth killers. They wanted the stealth killers to be a little sneakier. Obviously, pig and Ghostface definitely count as some of them. For sure. Skill Merchant, they kind of knew doesn't really count as a stealth killer, but they still wanted to give her the decreased radius. They did have like a reason for it. I don't really remember what it was at this time though. Deep Wound, decrease the time it takes to mend your own Deep Wound to 10 seconds, was 12 seconds. Decrease the time it takes to mend another survivor's Deep Wounds to 6 seconds, was 8 seconds. From my understanding, they like wanted to update Deep Wound, and that was kind of their way of doing that. And then that's why Legion got changed so much, because Legion really required just because they don't like, because Legion's whole power uses deep wounds, so they changed Legion as well to try to make Legion a bit more not needing to use deep wounds so much. And I felt like they found a pretty good balance between the two, at least. Killer perks, Alien Instinct, Increased aura reveal duration to 8 seconds was 5 seconds. Increased oblivious duration to 40, 50, 60 seconds was 16, 18, 20 seconds. So it lasts a little bit longer, the oblivious duration, which is kind of nice and whatnot. Deathbound decreased range to 12, 8, 4 meters was 16, 12, 8 meters. So Deathbound, I don't remember what Deathbound does, but what's frustrating about Pyramid Head is I've always heard from Orange and others that perks aren't good, and that just makes Deathbound sound worse to me. I can't remember like what it does, but the reason why it sounds worse to me is because they just decrease the range to 4 meters instead of 8, and it's like I can't tell if they want Pyramid Head's perks to be good or not, because it's like you would think they would like increase the range of the perk, just because 4 meters is like basically right next to you, you know, in terms of like in the game. 4 meters, they're basically right next to you, so it just doesn't feel like enough distance to effectively have a perk at. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not understanding, and if that's the case, sure, but if not, that just seems like a really odd and weird choice to me. Hysteria increased oblivious duration to 30, 35, 40 seconds was 20, 25, 30 seconds. Decreased cooldown to 20 seconds was 30 seconds. Fair enough. That sounds fine. Knockout rework. I kind of mentioned that earlier, that they had changed this perk. When a survivor drops a pallet, if they move 6 meters away from it within 6 seconds, they gain 5% hit rate for 3, 4, 5 seconds. I mean, it sounds fine. Nothing crazy. I mean, the new knockout doesn't sound crazy. It's kind of whatever. But at least it's no longer like slugging perk, and that's what they wanted it to not be. So that's why they changed it to what they did. Nemesis increased aura reveal duration to 8 seconds was 4 seconds. Survivor perks, quick and quiet, decreased cooldown to 25, 20, 15 seconds was 30, 25, 20 seconds. Deception increased hidden scratch mark duration to 5 seconds was 3 seconds. Increased cooldown to 25, 20, 15 seconds was 30, 25, 20 seconds. Dance With Me increased hidden scratch mark duration to 5 seconds was 3 seconds. Decreased cooldown to 25, 20, 15 seconds was 30, 25, 20 seconds. Red Herring decreased repair requirement to 1 second was 3 seconds. Decreased cooldown to 25, 20, 15 seconds was 40, 25, 20 seconds. Map Forsaken Boneyard. The area of Crow's main building was modified. Windows have changed positions, and drops from the exterior have been added to the balcony. Next, before there wasn't any. You had to like run inside and then drop down basically, or I think there might have been a couple windows to take you inside that I think would have dropped you straight down, but that was it. The content of the tiles has been revisited to reduce the amount of small collisions that were reducing the quality of the navigations. An extension of the theme has been added. Dead Sands is a new map added to the roster under the Forsaken Boneyard theme. It expands the lore and at the same time nerfs the realm offering. That's good. The branches with large collisions that would appear between tiles has been removed. New tiles have been created, double pallet tiles, which was very noticeable in the PTB, and it seemed interesting. Base game exit gate notifications are visible for 12 seconds when they are powered, was 7 seconds, that's nice. Bug fixes, archives, the patch or dispatch challenge no longer gives progress to survivors using the plot twist perk. The challenge tracker no longer appears completed when totems remain in the trial for the Furrow cleansing challenge. Audio fixed an issue where the effect on the unknown's voice was missing in the lobby. Fixed an issue where Leon Kennedy's DSO agent outfit would use Carlos Oliveira's voice. Fixed an issue where the memory 1736 entry from the Tallback Grimes journal was missing voiceover. Fix an issue across a dropped flashbang that had no audio cue. Fix an issue where the Frosty the Nightmare's outfit for the Dredge will not have its unique audio. Fix an issue where the grab cooldown SFX for the ghoul would persist after performing a pallet vault with the killer powers. Fix an issue where Nemesis would fail to emit any SFX when falling from a great height. Fix an issue where the Skull Merchant's drone sound effects would remain in the match when it is recalled after a survivor has activated it. Fix an issue where the Howl Master's chase music was incorrect compared to its release version. Fix an issue where certain VO lines from the Dark Lord would not match with subtitles when hooking Soma and Alucard. Bots. Fix an issue where preventing disconnect bots from properly using their perks. Fix multiple navigation issues for all AI entities in Haddonfield. Character. Fix an issue that caused survivors to clip in the killers during the pickup animation. Fix an issue that caused survivors to momentarily freeze when they stopped inputting movements. Fix an issue caused survivors' camera to stutter and realign when fast exiting a locker. Fix an issue that caused part of the Deathslinger's reload animation to be skipped. Fix an issue that caused part of the Deathslinger's reload animation to be skipped. Fix an issue that caused the animation of missing a basic attack to fail to play properly during any trial as the Nemesis. Fix an issue that caused the body of a carry survivor to clip inside the Nightmare's camera during basic attack cooldowns. Fix an issue which caused the Nightmare's black box sound to block the exit area, and that sounds awesome. Though I get why they would want to change. I mean, before that change, it sounds like that was just a game over. If you were against a Deathslinger or Freddy was that, because now you can't leave. Fix an issue of the Nightmare of the Past for survivors behind dream powered ability. Fix an issue cause survivors to become injured by the Nightmare, rupturing a dream pallet that was above/below the survivor. Fix an issue that caused the Skull Merchant's drone snout to rotate when deployed after recalling a disabled drone. Fix an issue that caused survivors to be scanned by the Skull Merchant's drones without having a scan line on them when the drone is rotating in the southwest direction. Southwest direction. God. There's so much text, it's messing with my brain. Fixed an issue caused the Cenobites aim indicator to flicker when aiming at large collision stacks. Fixed an issue that prevented the knight from drawing a patrol path under a hook. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to play the wrong animation when hitting a Nemesis zombie. Fixed an issue that caused Nemesis zombies to get stuck walking next to a hook survivor. Zombies will now take a wider route around the hook to avoid becoming stuck. People say the zombies are really bad, and it's like, I don't fully get. I mean, I get that they're like, they don't do a whole lot, but like, they can be useful in the right situations. They also don't, like, people act like the AI of them is absolutely horrendously bad, and that's not really the case. They have problems, sure, but like, they're not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, people kind of overblown the whole thing, which is kind of unfortunate. Just not genuine to what's actually going on there. What else we got here? Takeshi's cost the cannibal's pretty woman outfit played the wrong animation in online lobbies. Takeshi's cost this writer's animation interaction progress bar would persist after the interaction ended. Takeshi's that caused the handheld camera to be missing when the ghost face performed a Mori in a trial. Fixing shit cost the lich would briefly jitter back and forth when picking up a survivor hiding inside a locker. Fixing issue where the nurse's hair moves very slowly and floated uncontrollably when rotating quickly in the alpha preview. Fix an issue where the nurse's fatigue animation duration was longer than intended. The Hellmaster's laughter frequency has been adjusted when reaching max speed while following. Snug's search path, camera, and killer movement are no longer restricted after failing to land a grab attack due to a flash grenade while experiencing lag and packet loss. The nurse's position no longer changes upon ending of blink-near collisions. Survivors now correctly apply the screaming animation when triggered by any means. The Gnosis add-on depleted ink ribbon no longer makes zombies reappear for a brief moment after being killed inside the exit gate. Tier 2 is now consistently charged. And the tombstone piece of many ways done with good, while Tier 3 is ending for the shape. Survivors unhooked by bots no longer remain in a floating animation. Oh, they fixed it. For those of you who don't know, and I'll briefly mention it here, I get that this video is getting long. There is a YouTube short on our channel of me experiencing that glitch. Basically, you would get unhooked, and you were just stuck in the animation of like getting unhooked, sort of like you were still on the hook. So like your arms would still be sort of outstretched. You were just floating around. According to Orange, when we played during the PTB, I was fine. I was like moving around normally because he like ended up buying me a few times when I was like that, and I asked him like, what do I look like on your screen? He said you looked fine, like all the animations, everything on my end of what you are doing looks fine and it looks normal. The only way I found to break the floating animation is for you yourself to unhook somebody, or for the killer to like hit you. Were kind of the two ways I saw that it like went away. Otherwise, like doing jads, healing, heal, stuff like that, doesn't matter. You're still in the animation. So I'm happy about that, just because, I mean, it made for a funny short that did decently well for us, which was nice, but, yeah, I'm happy about that. That's fixed now, that's good. Xenomorph's burn vignette now fades out when exiting crawler mode by picking up a survivor. Survivor's animation interaction progress bar no longer lingers after unlocking the masterminds and the Mrs. Crates. Teleporting survivors no longer cause their model to jitter and slide back to their original location when performing interactions. The active scroll limits duration, radial timer direction is now consistent in the plates in the clockwise direction. Uh, the killer power of the Huntress and the twins can no longer pass through survivors on a hook. The Deathslinger can no longer perform other actions while reeling survivors. The Ghoul's Kakugen reticle no longer rotates when pointing at the ground while rotating the camera. Survivors no longer become immobile after dropping a pallet on the Ghoul when the latter is attempting to perform a grab attack. That makes me think of a glitch me and Orange found in 2v the Resident Evil 2v8 where we actually where he like grabs somebody as Wesker as they like dropped the pallet and it caused a problem where he actually like that survivor just was always permanently stuck being held by just got stuck being like held, and then thankfully they were kind of a nice player about it though, because when they realized there was no way like they were getting like fixed, they just like DC'd for us so that we could move on with our lives. That was really nice of them. Just because we would have been stuck there for a while, for hours, if they wouldn't have, until the game automatically just ends the trial, which is a thing that they have in place in kit for like matches that go on way too long. So that just made me kind of think of that glitch that we ran into. The ghoul is no longer able to leap grab a survivor during the dying state animation, preventing the associated issues. The ghoul's power now reloads properly when used the second time. The ghoul's input prompts over the power icon now updates to the current prompt. The ghoul's score vet become enraged is no longer earned when performing a direct grab if in enraged mode. The Kagune swipe score event is now earned when the ghoul does not reach the survivor on the first swing. The prompt no longer remains on screen when a survivor attempts to blind the ghoul during a failed grab attack. QTE. The grab cooldown SFX. Oh my god, it's so long. The grab cooldown SFX no longer persists after performing a pallet vault with the ghoul's power, damaging a survivor's tentacle grab. Now removes play with your food tokens for the ghoul, damaging the obsession with a tentacle grab. Now removes the best for last tokens. Or the ghoul, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I just want to say that, like, I'm not fully surprised this one's taking a while to read. Usually, updates that involve like a brand new. Usually, updates like this that are coinciding with a brand new character being added to the game they're usually long. Just because they have a lot to mention, you know what I mean? There's just a lot to talk about. But that's unfortunate for me because I typically yawn a lot in these videos when the reading gets way too long, and I kind of start to get bored of all the reading because I want to do some so that's unfortunate. The ghoul's tentacles now have aura and tentacle swinging. The ghoul's Kagune reticle is no longer momentarily visible when arriving at a window / pallet. The tentacle vault and rage mode countdown UI now pauses while carrying survivors to the ghoul. The tentacle impact smoke VFX no longer appears offset with the survivor model. For the ghoul is no longer pushed forward after tentacle vaulting a pallet on one side. Survivors with Kagune Mark KE now receive damage when direct grab vaulting the survivor close to a window, a pallet for the ghoul. The ghoul's in rage mode, withdrawal, vignette, VFX pauses when carrying a survivor. The ghoul cannot perform tentacle swing vault over the killer shack. The ghoul's tentacle animation is now present when performing the second Kagune leap charter at the end of the cooldown. The ghoul's camera is now centered on the survivor during a grab attack. After a grab attack, the vault interaction is no longer available and usable to the ghoul. During the grab/bite animation, the tentacle vault speed bonus no longer occurs when the ghoul is not in enraged mode. The killer effect now appears on the survivor HUD when the ghoul enters withdrawal mode directly. The ghoul's enraged mode vignette now resets when having enraged mode and getting enraged mode again without the QTE by grab attacks. Tactical blade survivor cross from a powder. One now the ghoul can no longer Kagane leap twice on survivors with an obstacle in the way. The ghoul can no longer use a Kagane leap briefly after canceling the power. The ghoul no longer stirs after a Kagane leap. A placeholder is no longer displayed in the prop when vaulting a drop pile with the ghoul's power. The ghoul's adjustment time in SFX no longer plays after the player cancels adjustment time early if cancelled after an invalid swing. The ghoul's tentacle vault no longer creates a visual glitch after vaulting. The ghoul is now able to perform basic attacks. After pressing the killer power input was lag, the ghoul can no longer M1 directly after canceling the power. The ghoul can no longer perform a basic attack after falling from a leap on enraged mode. The ghoul's power no longer breaks if stunned during a Kagane leap slide. The ghoul's cancel swing icon no longer always displayed when not relevant. The ghoul's Kagane mark no longer remains visible on the survivor portrait after being removed. Environment fixation vacancy. Police station where the dream stairs failed to pass through walls. Fixation for Forsaken Boneyard where projectiles were blocked by collision in the maze tile. Fixed an issue in the Blood Lodge main building where the dream stairs could not go through the closed doors where the basement could spawn. Fixed an issue in the Thompson house during the dream snares were blocked in the structure of the main building. Fixed an issue in Ormond Lake Mine where the killers could use their power to land in an unintended area while lunging. Fixed an issue on Shelter Woods where killers could land on top of walkers. Fixed an issue after taking boneyard where characters would generally walking against the collision. Sorry about all the yawning. I did mention that was going to happen, and sure enough it's happening, and we're still not done. Fixed an issue on Forsaken Boneyard where the trapper could hide traps inside the ground. Fixed an issue on Forsaken Boneyard where items could disappear in the ground when placed/dropped. Fixed an issue on the Nostromo main building where the zombies got stuck at the top of a ramp. Fixed an issue on the Temple Purgation mausoleum structure where zombies would get stuck walking around the structure. On the map, disturbed ward fixed fences that would not allow the nurse to blink through. Some walls that previously prevented the nurse from blinking through are now fixed in the Macmillan estate. Fix any issue of items clipping on the ground fails to be picked. Look up around the clock tower mid, which is elementary school. Fix the issue where the fence wall fades out during the morning mission in the bat room of getting a meat plant. Fix a collision issue on Grim Pantry where a survivor can be stopped by ground rock in the hill. Fix an issue of the camera clipping into assets during the escape animation before reaching the tally screen on Deadlock Saloon. Fixed an issue on the nurse that allowed her to blink in the small prison located behind the exit gates on Dead Dog Saloon. Fix various issues with level of detail of dirt on Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue with flickering textures on the ground near the escape in Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue which made flickering textures visible on a crate on Ormond Lake Mine, fixed an issue of various lines that were clipping through the fence on Ormond Lake Mine. Fixed an issue with the level of detail on every cement bag pile found throughout the Ormond Lake Mine map. Fixed an issue on a pile of snow that was coming through a conveyor belt inside the main building of Ormond Lake Mine map. Fix an issue of survivors and killers that can clip through all the pipe around the mine building of Ormond Lake Mine map. Fix an issue of a superfluous collision on a staircase preventing the killer from moving freely on Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue of a seam visible between two escape tiles on Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue of textures that were missing on Ormond Lake Mine. Issue of textures full of blood that were missing on Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue caused the numbers PFV to go out of bounds on Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue of having the Dark Lord's pillars of Hellfire spawning aside the exit gates was the add-on Alucard shield on Ormond Lake Mine. Fixed an issue of an invisible collision that hinders navigation for survivors and killers on the stairs of the main building in Temple Landing. Fixed an issue of a gap available at the outer edge of the escape tile on Borgo map. Fixed an issue in farm where the Dark Lord can stand on the doorframe of the farmhouse when using his bat form. Fix an issue where Hooks failed to fade out during a more animation on Bat in Preschool. Fix an issue with the Nightmares Dream Snares that failed to go through most of the walls of the closed classrooms in the main building on Batty and Preschool. Fixed an issue for the Shrine landmark ground that fades out during more animation on Yamako Estate. Fixed an issue for the nurse that allowed her to blink behind a wall on the east wing of Raccoon City Police Station. Fixed an issue of collision that allowed players to walk on top of a mob trolley on Raccoon City Police Station. Fixed an issue for the nurse that allowed her to blink through a wall of the Nostromo wreckage and become stuck. Fixed an issue on the basement floors and walls on Badham Preschool that was fading out during the Mori animation, allowing to see out of the world. Fixed an issue in which the walls and roof of the office of the exit gates have a one-sided texture on Ormond Lake Mine. Fixed an issue of collision that was allowed to player to walk on a sofa on Ormond. Fixed an issue of foliage that fails to fade out during more animation throughout the map of Dead Dog Saloon. Fixed an issue where we could see out of world on the entrance of the killer shack during more animation on Midwich Elementary School. Fixed an issue with the level of detail visible on stairs sign in West Wing of Raccoon City Police Station. Fixed an issue of characters hovering above ground on the Garden and Valwica Estate. Fixed an issue of killer projectile second pass through a vault location in the main building on Ormond Lake Mine. Fixed an issue of for a basement rock wall that has a missing texture on Temple of Purgation. Fixed an issue of the level of detail that can be found from a distance on two sets of stairs outside the Temple of Purgation. Fixing There's an issue of the level of detail that I'm seeing from a distance on two sets of stairs to set of aggregation. Fix an issue of the level of detail in the cobwebs in the low Cully on the killer shack's wall and Forsaken Boneyard. Fix an issue of superfluous collision prevents smooth navigation along a fence wall is located on 6 fence tile of the Forsaken Boneyard. Fix an issue on Eerie of Crows that had visible level of detail. Issues on the floor of the killer shack. Fixed an issue was a sliced stone that was suspended in the air in front of the clock tower's main entrance on the Forsaken Boneyard. Fixed an issue of openings that were visible in some parts of the edge. Assets of multiple fences, tiles, and Garden of Joy. Fixed an issue of a seam that can be seen between the tiles of a fence on the decimated Borgo. Fixed an issue with sand and roots colors that appears different around the shack of Forsaken Boneyard. Fixed an issue with multiple levels of detail on the broken brick walls on various tiles of Forsaken Boneyard. Fixed an issue on Forgotten Ruins. A seam can be seen between the two fence tiles. Fixed an issue on Boneyard Shack where they had two oculated assets dissipate inside a coffin. Fixed an issue on Eerie of Crows. Survivors and killers could climb to the base of the mausoleum columns. Fixed an issue on the stirred ward. Zombies could get stuck on the ramp leading inside the asylum on the tile asylum. Fixed an issue on Ormond Lake Mine. Shadow appears as reflection on some of the snow patches. Fixed an issue on Ormond Lake Mine. Shadow appears as reflection on some of the snow patches. They literally put the same thing fucking twice, and I don't know why. That's really weird. Fix an issue in Pale Rose where a totem was stuck in the tree. Holy fuck. There's so much left to go over. Holy shit. I might have to break this up into 2 videos. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Perks. Fix an issue that caused a killer to be blinded while looking away from a flashbang. Fix an issue that caused survivors with shoulder the burn not to become infected when unhooking a fully infected survivor. Fix an issue that caused the struggle skill checks not to reset when a survivor is unhooked by a survivor's shoulder the burden. Fix an issue that caused Eyes of Belmont not to extend the aura ring of 2 seconds to other aura ring perks. Fix an issue that caused the aura broken pallets to be displayed when equipped with power struggle. Fix an issue that cost the best for last token. Tokens not to be removed when entering the obsession was a throw from Brilliant Bound. Fix an issue that cost the tokens not to be consumed from several perks when entering a survivor was Flight of the Dam. Fix an issue that cost the tokens not to be consumed from several perks when entering a survivor was a dream palette. Fix an issue that prevented the nightmare from placing a dream palette in places where a palette was destroyed by Spirit Fairy. The fire up perk effect is no longer applied when the ghoul's power is used to vault. While noise bubbles that appear when survivors scream from the Hex Fix the Darts perk. In spectator mode, the perk Hex Nothing But Mystery is no longer always shown in the active state. The Eye of Belmont perk now extends the aura ring of 2+ seconds duration to other perks. The perk Hex Nothing But Mystery is no longer lit at the beginning of trial. The Hex Nothing But Mystery fails to transfer on the Hex and Dying totem when cleansed by the survivors. Killers are... The camera might die before I get through all this. Okay. The Hex Nothing But Mystery fails... I read that one. Killers are now able to be blinded by the Blast Mine. The Eye of Belmont's functionality is now consistent with the object of obsession regarding if the survivor is the obsession or not. Decisive Strike now activates against Fire Up and Forever Entwined. Vigil now reduces the Oblivious test from Hysteria. Platforms. Fix an issue that showed an incorrect message when Steam is down. Fix an issue that caused a crash randomly because of RTM on PS. I don't know what that means. UI. Fix an issue where the epilepsy warning warps. Fix a potential crash issue in the lobby. Fix an issue where narrow arrow buttons in the Tom collection was not working after And on the illustration, fix an issue where the survivor's mending bar appears where it has previously been mended. If gets deep wound status while sprinting, fixes display trial character well when the owns filter is applied. Fix an issue where the name of the killer fails to update while looking for a match. Fix an issue where the wrong perks reveal animation appears while spectating the player in the custom game. Fix an issue where some killer powers were missing input prompts during cooldown. Miscellaneous, fix an issue that caused killer perks Shattered Hope to not appear when searching for general. Fix an issue that caused the kill interaction from the finisher Mori to unlocalized in every language except English. Fix an issue caused the add Knight's achievement / trophy to unlock when the killer disconnected after completing the unlock requirements. Fix an issue caused the Death of Ignorance achievement / trophy not to progress when using the Artist Silver Bell add-on. Fix an issue caused a debug blue square to be visible when breaking a wall as a killer. The achievement I forget what about 1 month resort free. Public test build PTB adjustments. The goal increased the base sliding effect from 0.4 seconds to 0.8 seconds on par with and Tech Q apron effect. Decreased the technical vault time at pallet from 2.0 seconds to 1.5 seconds to be at the same time as technical window vault. Retune the technical swing system to minimize the power interruption during swings or dealing around obstacles. Decrease in rage countdown timer from 60 seconds to 45 seconds. Decrease countdown added time bonus when completing a perfectly timed grab attack from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. Add on Kaneki's wallet. Increase the window bonus time from 1 second to 3 seconds. Add on AQ apron. Decrease the sliding buzz effect from 100% to negative 50%, whatever that means. Add on broken chain. Increase the decrease timer cooldown bonus from 20% to 35%. Add on satchel. Increase the Furkai and the elite bonus speed from 20% to 30%. Add on Taiyaki. Increase in rage mode countdown bonus time from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Add on Hinama's Umbrella, rarity change from rare to very rare. Add on Red Spider, rarity change from very rare to rare. Add on Yamori's Mask, promote the healthy requirements from the activation. Oh god, it's been over an hour and I'm still here. Xenomorph increased the tail attack charge time to 0.3 seconds with 0.36 seconds. Decreased the successful tail attack cooldown to 2.7 seconds with 3 seconds. Decreased the amount of fire required to burn Xenomorph out of car mode to 125 was 175, so they nerfed that a little bit. Reverted changes to tunnel exit time. I don't remember what they were originally, honestly, but that's good. a second. Oh. No. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Oh no. I should be back by then. Man. I said packed. Like, because I need to put stuff in, the one bag. So I said packed because I still need to do that. What is am I? Well, as long as been that, but sorry about that. How the phone go? What else we got here? Reverted changes the heat dissipation rate. Cause I think before it was like some weird thing where like I remember it being weird before. Reverted changes the heat dissipation delay. So it sounds to me like they did remove that effect that me and Orange and a lot of others were complaining about. So that's good. Bug fixes fix an issue where male survivors failed to scream when interrupted by the ghoul, undropped pallets or regular bolts. Kept the pickup speed buff at plus 42% for killers. This was done to prevent breaking certain killer/survivor interactions. Fixing should cause player to be unable to gain blood points /challenge progression /XP after surrender. Honestly, not too bad. A lot of changes. I know some people were complaining about the newest killer, the ghoul. But like, because a lot of players felt like he was fine, and other players were complaining about that. I would imagine survivors, because that would make sense to me. But overall, I mean, nothing too crazy or nothing too crazy. Honestly, the biggest thing is that they fixed that stupid xenomorph thing. Me and Orange felt like he was fine otherwise, despite that heat dissipation like taking so long to go away, and the fact that it sounds like they straight up removed that completely. Like they just made it back to the one that it was at. 'Cause it was fine before. It's such a huge W. So overall, not too bad. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.